Hello, how are you? This is JilliBling, and I have project number 4 using Frame Florets bundle. So this one, oh, I love it. Yep, it used a whole package of dimensionals. Yes, there's stuff on the inside that probably shouldn't be, but I love it. I love it. Yes, it probably cost a fortune to make in all the layers, but you know, sometimes you just gotta do it. Okay, you ready? It's not too hard. Frame Florets, and the dies are Frame Florets dies. And then also in there is Chic dies. And that's just for these 3 little flowers. It's 2 different dies. There's this flower and this one is duplicated. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so Stampin' Up! Vanilla thick, fold it in half, and I'll put all the paper cut sizes on my blog. My blog is JilliBling.com. As soon as I finish all 5 of the projects, I will post the paper cut sizes and a link, because if you get this, if you're in the US and you order the bundle from me, I'd love to send you the 5 card kits for free. And this is number 4. Let's see. Stuff over here. This is number 1. Isn't that pretty? This one is number 2. Number 2. Number 3 is the black one. This is number 3. And number 4. Number 5 is going to be another gold and white card. Okay, so I have all these little papers. Here's the dies. We'll be using them all. So cut 4 of these leaves, and this is granite gray. 4 of these, and the 4 is 1 for here, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 of those. This we had to do the watercoloring first. On here, if you get your card kit, there's vanilla pieces, and there's 4 different sizes. There's big one that's just a little bit smaller. Because I don't know if you noticed on here, there's a vanilla layer right there, and then there's the texture. So there's 1, this one is 2, 3 is for the bigger frame, and the smallest one is for the littler frame. Like I said, that's a whole lot of overkill, but it's lovely. So little one, big one, and this one, if you put it at the side, it fits. I cut the paper a little bit small. It will fit just fine, and you probably didn't notice that I kind of chopped off the little edge there, but it gets covered up by everything, so if you're doing this at home and you cut off the edge, it's no problem. Okay, there's that. We have to do the watercoloring on here, and the size number 2 is for the texture, and then these 2 are just a layer. And I know, it's lots of pieces. But once we start putting it together, you'll go, ah, I know what they're all for. Okay, so the texture one, I put it in here. I'm going to use this line to line up, because the embossing folder pattern is repeating. I'm going to use the line to line it up. So here's a texture piece. Let's get these colored. So to do the coloring, you could just get some petal pink paper and cut that out, but do you see the different variegations in the petal pink, how it makes it so soft? I like that better. And we need to do 6 flowers, 3 plus 3 more. So to do that, Petal Pink Refill, Aqua Painter, and a block. So, take your Aqua Painter, put just a drip. A drip is all you need. And if you need a little bit more, you could get it out of the lid. I'll show you. Not that you will, but just in case you do, you don't need to do another drip. So do a watercolor wash, get the paper wet. While it's still wet, go into here and apply the color. If you get streaks that are heavy, that's okay. It will dry lighter than what you see right here. And the variegation is pretty much what we're really going for. And over here, we'll squeeze, wash, and pick up the color. And if you do it too much, your paper will kind of peel up like that. See, now I have too much ink. Or maybe I'll just make these darker. But say you didn't have enough ink on there, instead of getting a whole nother drip, you could just go inside the lid and pick up a little bit of color. Okay, so that's it with the coloring. So, the flower dies, there's two different ones. There's this one which is like a straight on in the front, and then this one which is a little bit more oval is for going this side and going that side. So I'll do 2 of these straight on and 4 of these. So I'm going to cut all these pieces out. Four of the branch. Four of the little leaf. Okay, so Tony's in the shower right now. Dude has pneumonia. He has been napping, not sleeping. I mean, we're a mess. I'm coming around today. First day feeling better. But I think that's because I finally slept a little last night. Before, both of us were up every 20 minutes, coughing, sleeping for 15-20 minutes, and then doing it again. That gets old really fast. But last night, I probably slept for maybe 2 hours at a time, coughed a little bit, and then back to sleep. But I went to bed 2 hours early, so that's like 10 hours of that. It's good. It's good. It feels so much better to feel better. I was thinking I was going to have to go back in again. This one goes on here. Okay, so the texture, notice how there's a little bit of color on there? It's really high tech. You take this and gently, you take this, put it on top, and the ink pad will hit the texture in the embossing folder, and it will dry lighter than what you see it. But you just want to gently go across. Depending on how much you want. Okay, I know the oval will go there, so it'll be covered up. While I have this out, let me do the words. And the words, I wish I stamped them down lower, so I'll do that this time. So, when you cut out your 2 ovals, you have 2 plain white ovals. Small one, big one. Small one gets filed. Big one is going to fit right into here. But I want to stamp the happy birthday on here. So any of you that got the kit, got the bundle from me, and the kit is coming to you, you'll be using your own bundle. And I do this little cheating thing with a nail file, especially with polymer. I haven't done this one because there's like a shine on here, And at your own risk, just do a little brush to get the shine off of there. And can you tell that I'm just doing that really light? But it makes all the difference in how your stamp stamps. Like this one, oh, I've already used that. Okay, here, Celebrate. I haven't used this one. I'm going to show you the difference it makes. But like I said, at your own risk. Or some people, they take it, they put it in Versamark and they use their scrubby and they do that a few times. I think that pretty much does the same type process where you're just getting that little shine off. Okay, so that's without. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's like the shine on it makes the ink ball up. You know, like if you put re-inker on plastic wrap, it's going to ball up. It's going to be hanging out with its friends. Where when you do that, there's like little micro scratches in your stamp. Just say it. Kind of works for me. Okay, so pull out your liquid glue for this project. Okay, let's see, where are we? This. You're like, that's plain. But this goes on top. Liquid glue. And because this is textured, I'm going to be a little bit heavy on the glue. No thin little ribbon of glue. Just because I want to make sure it sticks. Okay, so that, I'll hold this up close. You can hardly tell, but there's just a little solid vanilla layer, and it's framing the textured layer. This is an overindulgent card. It doesn't need 10 layers, but sometimes a girl has to do what a girl has to do. Okay, the front is already happening. Oops. Okay, and since I'm on a roll, I'll do the inside granite paper. Not the vanilla yet, because I had to stamp on that. I could stamp on it now. Or you know what? I'm going to do the front, because sticking down the ribbon, it takes a minute for it to set. That's why I have my little blocks there. Oops, that's not straight.
Hey, sickies.
It's okay. Okay. Uncle David is here. That's Beau's favorite. Okay, so the big frame, take out all these little pieces. And to put the frame on, I'm going to put glue, again heavy, right down here and just at the bottom at this point. And I'm putting it heavy, and I don't know if you could tell that that's really heavy, just because having the glue go through all this texture is a little bit challenging, but with lots of glue it's fine. I'm looking at how much of the frame is close to the gray granite edge, then scooching this one over. The boys went outside. Uncle David came in, he goes, "Hey, you sickies," and Tony's like, "Shh, be quiet, she's on a video." Okay, and then again, heavy on the glue. That goes right in the middle. I stamped it a little crooked. Well, you know what? I wonder if I'm going to straighten it out. So if you stamp yours crooked, this is how you fix it. Okay, and you're probably like, that is crooked in there, but this is going to fill it in. Love it when it works like that. Okay, I'll let that dry just a little bit. And get these pieces ready. I love the gray granite and vanilla. It's just really elegant. Probably should have had these done. So the gray granite, there's only one die. So if you look at all these, you're like, they're all going the same direction. On your sample, they're going different directions. So we're going to flip one upside down. And I have a little trick to make it so it's not so obvious that it's just flipped upside down. Okay, all those pieces are looking good. So let's finish sticking this one down, and don't cringe when I do this because you know it's going to be covered up. Just fold it over and load it up with glue because it's going to be sticking onto that texture. And there'll be another oval over it with dimensionals to hold it in place. Okay, so that will just fold right up over here, and let's hold it down. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on here. And the mini ones fit pretty good. Mini dimensionals on the back side. And I'm just using that flat side of the dimensional toward the circle edge. And they fit just fine. Lots of dimensionals and lots of pearls. So this bundle is carrying over into the January catalog. And if you like the designer paper that matches it, which is really pretty, it's while supplies last, and it's not going to make it into the January catalog. So if you like that paper, get it as soon as you can. I stamped that one up high again. It's better if it's lower. Well, that's okay. Okay, so first on is Granite Gray Branch. Again, heavy on the glue. And I didn't want the branch to go off into the border because then it would be lost. So I'm keeping it, maybe this, I'll do it up a little bit higher to make up for that white vanilla space. Okay, so for the back one, if you're like, it doesn't fit. If you flip it over, it fits. But the reason I don't like it is because the die makes the corners of the top of the paper, the cut piece, kind of be rounded. So that looks like the top. So if you take it, flip it over, take your bone folder, and just kind of smushing it a little bit. Maybe it's my imagination, but I think it makes it look probably like 50% better. And it's not perfect, but it going the right direction is perfect. It's worth it. And I'll do that for the inside one also. So give that a try. Actually, this one is coming out better than the sample one. So that one's going to go that way. So this liquid glue right in the center, more than what you probably need. But sticking this card together, even the lace, everything is just lots of liquid glue. Okay. Just like that. Then the little vanilla leaves, there's 2 different dies and they go different directions, which is convenient. So this one here, and those are the same. There. And again, lots of the glue. Lovey, if you have to cough, go for it. Okay, so liquid glue right down the center. And like right in the middle of the gray branch. And same thing over here. So when it comes to flower placement, on the inside I place the flowers a little bit closer because on the outside there's going to be a couple of bows. And on the inside there's just a little piece of lace. Okay, so the difference in all these flowers is this one is the straight on flower. This one I kind of mangled that. I'm going to put that one on the front because I know the front is loaded with ribbon. So can you see the difference how this one is a little bit oval and flat? Oval, flat, straight on. Okay, so it's time to put on the 2 outside flowers. You're probably thinking, how am I supposed to know where those go? Let's do the ribbon first. It's going to take a minute to dry. There's a lot of glue on here. So the ribbon, this ribbon is retired, but any lace that you have or any pretty ribbon that you have is good. The ribbon, when you have one-sided ribbon, whether it be front and back one-sided, or like this ribbon, how there's a flat side and the scallop side, it makes it really challenging for doing bows because there's always going to be one kind of wrong, neglected side. I'm going to do this a little bit bigger than I normally would. And if you make it big, you're able to kind of flip it over, put a glue dot, get it to go the direction you want. So see here how there's a scalloped and then there's flat on the bottom and then it's opposite here. So before I cinch the bow, I'm going to turn this part around. Okay. And then, if I can, I'm going to turn around the whole thing, but that bottom part doesn't normally stay. Then after you have it about how you want it, just pull it tight. And if it doesn't work out, you could use glue dots to kind of do that little twist up near the knot of the bow, and you can make it work. Okay, so see how my flap top is at the top of the bow, and my scallops are on the inside on the little feet. Don't know that it'll stay like that, but I'll try. And I'm going to put liquid glue on it to hold it right where I want it. So, glue dots. I got these from some kit. I need to use them. And that's just to hold it in place for a minute until I get the liquid glue on it. Okay. Okay, that I'm going to put up a little bit higher because I don't like that big empty space. So this bow is going every direction. So I'm going to put a little glue dot right there to make this kind of flip over because I want the flat part up. Maybe. Okay. And it's vintagey, so if you don't get it right, it's okay. Then trim that. I'm going to need a little bit for the inside. So for the inside, how about like maybe 3 inches? Okay, that'll be for the inside. Then, and I need to trim all that up and stick it down. A little bit bigger than you normally would. Linen bow. And somehow I'm loving it that I'm at the end of the spool and it's kind of all curly. That goes with the vintage vibe. Okay, that gets a glue dot right on top. Phew, that's really crazy. Okay, and then just to make sure that everything stays right where I want it, I'm going to do like a puddle of glue all over everything, hoping it gets down to the vanilla paper. Right there, I know I put a glue dot to hold that in place. And the flower is going to cover this, so don't worry if it's a little excessive and ugly. You know it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, I'm going to hold up that ugly. Yeah, it's a mess. Okay, so while I'm going to give this like maybe 2 minutes to dry. Like that's where I want those to go. What other block? That, ooh, if that could sit down in that puddle of glue right there. Okay. Okay. Just to calm down. So, let's see. That could be the top. This could be the inside. And I put a big pearl on all of these, including the inside. I know, it's excessive. But if you're making this card, you like it. You're as bad as I am. If your embossing plate looks like this, and it's nice and flat, you're probably getting left behind with some of these little bits of paper. Of course, you could clean your embossing cutting pad or just wipe them off. Maybe. Or maybe the lace and the linen thread just have to cover it up. I'm fine with it being on the bottom, just not on the top. Okay, 6 flowers that are pearlized. Okay, these 3 go on the inside. These go on the outside in just a minute. So let's work on the inside. Okay, here's a sample. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. Just a little reminder that you are loved. And then I use some of the stamps down at the bottom just to add more, what's a good word? Vintaginess. Okay, words. Okay, and these are the leaves. And a lot of it's going to be covered. But you know, all those layers, that's what makes it shabby chic. Then this little thing, I think we're done with stamping. Okay, I'm going to hold this up. Doesn't look good yet. But you see how it's kind of everywhere? And these pieces are going to cover it up and make it look good. So, right down the center. I want to keep it on the vanilla because it goes off into the border. You won't see the detail on it. It'll be like gray on gray and it'll kind of disappear. Okay, and next is the vanilla leaves. So glue right in the center. And these I'm going to do a little bit closer than I did on the front. Actually, because these are vanilla. See how this one is drifting down into the border? That looks good. So this one will too. Lots of glue today. Okay, and now for the ribbon. It's going to go right across the center. Just kind of get laid into there. And I don't know if you want the scallop part going up or down. Okay, and then at this point I'm just going to put this one where it goes, and the other ones I'll tuck in around it, and then I'll attach the center one. And because it's going through all these layers, again, lots of glue. Good thing it dries clear. And at this point, I'm just setting those on. Okay, and the top final one. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So this is going to set off to the side and just dry and stick. Okay, so that one is crazy. It will just get a glue dot. Okay, time to put the flowers on. That one's going to set right there. And these are going to get loaded up. Running out of glue. Wonder why. I think I cut those flowers when the paper was still wet from doing the watercoloring on it. And that's why the flower tore. But you won't even notice it because this card is so busy. Okay. So yeah, they are just setting on there. But I have more blocks. Dry. And you know, even if it doesn't all get stuck in place, it's okay if it's showing a little bit. Okay, so for the pearls, I have a little bit of a plan on that. The pearls, and I'm using the little ones on here, on the smaller frame, do a pearl and leave just a little bit of white smaller frame showing. And I'm doing it right next to the bump on the big frame. You'll see it better on the top here. Okay, so there's the bump. So I'm doing this right in the center. Like here's the bump, there's the pearl, and there's just a little bit of vanilla smaller frame showing. Then, oop, wrong size. Then do one right in between those two. Another one right in between. And then two of them in between here. Two more, and two more. Because if you just started putting them everywhere, you would probably use the whole package of pearls rather than a half package. Now, how much are pearls? They're like $8 a package. $7, $8 a package. You don't want $3.50 in pearls on your card. Maybe $3 of pearls. Okay, or 7. And if they're not perfectly spaced, it's okay. Pretty close. Okay, one more. Those look a little bit close, but you can move stuff around if it's not centered. Okay, I think that's it. I'll probably let it sit here and dry before I take the picture. Oh, we have to put the inside in. Then that's it. You know, I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more. So pretend like I'm putting this in right there. I don't want it to stick. Okay, so that is it for today's project. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the like button. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.